What's going on, guys? I appreciate all of you that have been waiting patiently for the live start. As per usual, these intros are mainly for the replay, people that are going to watch the replay. I appreciate you stopping by. Today, random topic, felt like going live. Figured I'd discuss some of the fragrances I've been wearing the most recently. There are a few that I kind of keep going back to as of late, whether it's some cheap stuff for the gym or just some daily wears, evening wears, stuff that I've been rocking recently. Starting to get a few people in pretty quickly. I appreciate all of you that are stopping by. And first things first, what are you guys wearing today? What's your scent of the day? Let's see. Jeremiah, what's going on? Metal Frag Guy, Omega, Kevin, Jeff, a bunch of people in here. Random Ass Fragrances, Billy, TF Patriot. Appreciate all of you for being here. What's everybody wearing? So, Pegasus Exclusive. Good evening from Lakeland. Antonio, PDM's having a huge sale. So there's some good info for anybody interested in buying some Parfums de Marly fragrances. So we only got one scent of the day so far. What are you guys wearing? The first fragrance we're going to talk about is what I'm wearing today. So we'll hold off just a minute. What's going on? Dylan, Cremo Spice and Black Vanilla. The biggest Cremo fan that I know. Rochas Moustache EDP. Damn good choice right there. LV Meteore. I've never tried that one. Aero CDP. I have tried that one. I've put a decent dent in my bottle. That's some good stuff for sure. Leighton, another Cremo Spice and Black Vanilla. So that's two of you wearing that today. Can't knock it. That's for sure. Bleu de Chanel EDP. Probably one of the most most iconic from the modern era. Randy's in the house at Oktoberfest wearing Prada Black tonight. I'm doing well. How are you, Randy? Nishane Ani, one of my personal favorites. Glad you could join us, Pop. Tried and True, the so-called king, wearing a Ventus today. Got Dino in the house. Ferrari Scuderia Forte. All right. Starting to gather more and more people. So my scent of the day is actually the first fragrance we're going to talk about today. This is one of the newer releases from Kajal. This is called Ferris. So if you're a fan of spicy aromatics, spicy green aromatics, this is worth a sample for sure. I don't know why I'm smelling out the bottles on my arm. It's on my neck, on my arms, all that good stuff. This is lovely. The lavender here smells like genuine fresh cut lavender out of a field. It's probably the best lavender note I have in my collection. That's why I keep going back to it. I've worn this a few times here in recent months, not necessarily just recent weeks, but recent months. And this particular fragrance, and yesterday's as well, is what made me spark the idea of, let's make this the topic for the live stream today. Let's see. Tom Ford Noir de Noir, Tommy Hilfiger. What are you wearing? Tommy Bahamas St. Bart's. So you're wearing 3 fragrances right now? That's your scent of the day? That's quite the mix. Latafa Fakar. I've never tried that one. Speaking of which, Cremo released their vintage suede. People say it smells like Tom Ford ombre leather. That's what I hear. But I'd rather have a bottle of ombre leather, which I do plan on getting before the year is out, personally. Let's see. Tobacco Oud or Tuscan leather. Okay, so the old one that they had from Cremo was kind of like Tuscan leather, but just a much more cheap and synthetic version of it, basically. So that's why I don't really lean towards Cremo much anymore, because their fragrances have gotten just so synthetic as of late. Signature Tobacco, Afnan 9 p.m. Noir Ombre for the first time. Eau de Cedre. Okay, so that's one of the Armani fragrances. I've never tried that. I've heard good things. I didn't even know he put a new one out. Shame on me. Is that the video he put out today? Because I would have thought I would have got a text about that. Because I have notifications turned on. Yeah, I didn't see any skits. Okay. Aramis 900. Ooh, wow. That's a lesser known old school gem. Aqua Rush. I haven't worn that in a long time. F Black. Can't go wrong. He has 2, I think. 2 what? Adrian, I don't know what you're referring to, because unless he dropped a skit today, I've reacted to every single one he's ever put out. So let's take a look. Is the huge Parfums de Marly sale video the skit that you're talking about? Come on, focus. You must focus one time for me. There we go. Put it on an hour ago. Maybe that's it. Lowest prices ever. I guess I'll have to watch that after the live stream. So, got Kevin in the house. What's going on? Shout outs to Ross, smoothest in the game. Great talking to you the other day on live stream. Yes, it absolutely was, my man. Glad you could stop by for a little while. Mercedes-Benz Club Black. No, I have not tried that. I have not tried it, Randy. Absolutely no familiarity with it. Considering I'm still a little ways away from winter weather, I don't even have those on my mind. It's all about fall fragrances right now for me. All right, so let's see. So we talked about one. Let's move on to another. Interesting pick. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I love it. I'm so glad to have a 200 ml of Sauvage Parfum. It is my favorite version. I wore this day before yesterday, actually on a hike, and it was nice and hot outside. I was projected. Boy, I could smell myself. We hiked for about 2 hours, the hike we were on, and I smelled myself the entire time. Surprisingly, I did not go anosmic to this. I was shocked. Oh, the olibanum and the sweetness was just coming off this smoky, sweet smell. I only had 3 sprays on, too, just 3 going around the neck because I was wearing long sleeves and everything. So I don't like to spray my clothes unless it's a light and airy fragrance. And this is just, I love this stuff. More people need to give it a shot. Don't just go off of stuff you read on the internet. Half of that is just trolling bullshit. Some of it, the other half's legit, but you got to sort through all of it. Try this kind of stuff for yourself. Try it on your skin because, like I said, it's my personal favorite. I'll take it over Elixir, and I love Elixir. It's just my preferred version of Sauvage, and it actually projects really well for me and lasts an extremely long time. It's Parfum concentration. Got an EJ Wells sighting. 200 ml of Sauvage would last 5 years for me. I would think it would last even longer than that, EJ. It's going to last longer than 5 years for me. I've had it for like 2 years now, and I still got a little bit of a dent in it, but not even close to putting a huge dent because I don't have to wear a lot of sprays. It performs really well on me. 1 million Elixir. Sauvage EDP. That's my choice. That's a lot of people's choice. A lot of people prefer the EDP. Argentina, it's spring here using fresh fragrances. Montrese in the house. What's going on? Got a 200 ml bottle of Sauvage EDP. I paid $160, but it was worth every dime. So I got this on a crazy deal. My stepbrother Sam Broom, he got it on the same deal I did. Like 2 years ago, Fragrance Net was running this after the coupon code for like $134 when this was the newest flanker. Right now, this 200 ml with the discounts in the realm of $190, $200. So considering the fact and the pricing, it was actually a huge bargain, and I'm so glad I jumped on it when I did. And it was a blind buy. Love this fragrance. Really, really love this fragrance. So I appreciate all of you hanging out. So another one I've been wearing pretty often, which should be no secret, is Evening Mystique. You know, that juice level slowly starting to come down. There's another one that I don't need more than 5 sprays. This stuff is quite strong with quite the sillage. I'm going to spray it. I'm telling you, if you like resins, incense, and iris, this is going to be one you're going to want to get your hands on for sure. Link is pinned to the top in the chat for anybody that hasn't pre-ordered yet that's interested in pre-ordering. We're trying to set timelines right now in our group text. We were talking about it earlier. Almost have everything we need to get everything done. Bottles are going to be filled within the next couple of weeks. So hopefully anywhere between mid-November and beginning of December. We're not exactly sure on when it's going to happen, but that's kind of the time frame for when we're going to be in Chicago, getting everything together and sending orders out. So for anybody that wants that first wave in the pre-order, definitely get your pre-orders in. Didn't like Sauvage when it was first released, but since revisiting it, I really enjoy it now. I like every version, even the Cool Spray. The Cool Spray didn't move me enough to buy it. It's the only one I don't have, that I don't own. But I like every version of Sauvage. You know, people hate on it, but yeah, teach their own, you know. Have a 50 ml Sauvage EDP. It'll last a pretty long time, even though it's Mrs. Fritz's favorite. There you go. Mrs. Fritz, big fan of Sauvage EDP. That's what I'm talking about. L'Homme Intense, I do. I've featured it many times over the years on the channel. Many times. Very good fragrance. I'm sorry, the original L'Homme, not the Intense. I have smelled the Intense. I want to say 2 different times I sprayed it on my hand. I forgot where and what instance. I want to say it was 2 times though, but I have the original. I don't find them different enough to where I need both. Since I already had the original, I don't bother getting it. Fantastic looking bottle. I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you, man. Mike the Trickster. This must be Mike from Day 3 Fragrances. In today's video that came out, I was wearing my Day 3 Fragrances hat, actually, that you sent over to me, which I appreciate, by the way. Very nice hat. Nicolas Patchouli Intense, a beautiful little beast. Well, okay, then. I've never tried that, EJ. For those of you that don't realize, this is EJ Wells of Happy Land Studio, by the way. First time I have EJ active in a live chat. I appreciate you being here, EJ. By the Fireplace, Spice Bomb Infrared, Luna Rosa Carbon. That's, I'm assuming, the ones your favorites that you've been reaching for the most recently. Montrese says, I'm not buying no cool spray. It's okay. You know, it's actually lasts longer than you would think, and it smells really good. It's fresh, but I don't know. Maybe it's because it's an aerosol can. I couldn't make myself spend that kind of money on a freaking aerosol can. I don't know. Yes, sir. That is indeed Mike from Day 3 Fragrances. Guys, if you want some unique, high-quality indie niche, he's got samples available. Definitely check out Day 3 Fragrances. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on a few of his fragrances, just type in TLTG Day 3 Fragrances. The video will pop up. I did a video recently. So the next one, moving on, I've been wearing this out the shower a lot and to the gym here and there. Jaguar Pace Accelerate. Of course, it doesn't want to focus. There we go. So this is actually quite the fresh and spicy fragrance. A little woody. Online, a lot of people compare it to Encre Noir Sport. Yeah, it's similar, but I wouldn't call them the same. This is much spicier. More of a peppery spice, which the original was known for having a peppery spice, more of a shower gel than this one is. I do prefer this over the original Jaguar Pace, which was a decent little spicy shower gel cheapie in its own right. This is a fresh, almost watery type of fragrance with a lot of spices. So if you like fresh and very spicy, or very fresh and spicy, I think would be the better way to say it. Something like this is decent for the money. I want to say it's a 90 ml, 100 ml, sorry. I paid right over $20 from Fragrance Net. I got it a while back in a haul video that I did, and see the juice level starting to drop. I do enjoy wearing this one. I've been wearing it to the gym, out the shower. It's been a pleasure. I mean, it's a solid casual fragrance. The performance is decent. It's nothing spectacular or very noteworthy, but for what it is, it's decent. 4 or 5 hour fragrance, you know, nothing special, but it's one of the cheapies I've really been reaching for lately. Catch back up here on the chat. Have you ever tried Issey Miyake Sport for Men? I have not. I've contemplated getting it several times. I haven't bought it for one reason or another. Even Mystique is going to be the bomb, and I can't wait for it to arrive. I can't wait to ship everybody's packages out. We're getting there. We're definitely getting closer. You're going to review more fragrances from the Middle Eastern houses. I will. As time goes on, there's other fragrances I have my eyes on, which I've been talking about for a while. There's some Tom Fords I really want to get. 1 Million Parfum and 1 Million Elixir I sampled not long ago. I want to get bottles of those. And somewhere sprinkled in there, I'll get a few Middle Eastern fragrances. But for the most part, I buy a lot of these originals. I tend to go after the originals, but there's certain instances where the Middle Eastern version may sway me. There's a few killer ouds I'd like to get. I know they're mostly clones of Amouage. Like their version of Epic Man, I'd like to get that one so I can compare it to Epic Man because I absolutely adore Amouage Epic Man. So it'll be sporadic here and there. Not my main focus, but one of my focuses for the near future for sure. That's exactly why the price. Just received Spice Bomb Infrared today, currently wearing it, and I'm liking it. It was a great release. Sad that they didn't release a flanker this year for Spice Bomb. A lot of people were expecting infrared EDP like they did with Night Vision, which I'm sure would have been amazing. And that may be what they do next. Who knows? But for now, infrared is really, really good. Got Calvin Klein Eternity Aqua quite a bit. Good stuff. I just went ahead and bought a 200 ml to review on my channel. Basically a slightly sweeter take on Polo Blue. I mean, it's really good. I have a bottle. Big fan of your reviews. That was Issey Miyake Sport. Yeah, I know. I'm picturing the bottle with the light blue print and it's gray. Yeah, I know exactly which bottle you're talking about. that are great for the season. Well, for one, this Jaguar Pace Accelerate. It's fresh enough for the warmer days and spicy enough for the cooler days, but not too much either way to be bad for one or the other. Like, it's not too spicy for the warm days. It's not too fresh to be super weak during the cool days. That's actually a decent one. That's one of the reasons we're talking about it. I love Deep Blue Parfum. That's actually the fragrance I wore to my stepson's high school graduation, so I have a very fond memory tied to that fragrance. Big fan. I heard it's discontinued. I think all they're doing in the Polo Blue line now is because they changed the bottles to match Polo Blue Parfum. It's the Parfum, the EDP, and the Eau de Toilette. I believe that's the only three that are maintaining production. Could be wrong, but I believe that's what I've seen from Ralph Lauren Fragrances account. It's the only ones they market from the blue line because they all have that same bottle design now. Let's see. Let me get caught up. I'm getting kind of behind. Killer Oud, Death by Oud is great. Came early, just got it today. What do you think of it, Montrese? What's it comparable to? Like, I'm assuming it's a clone of something specific. I've heard of this one. I've heard the name Death by Oud. I've just never tried it. I love their bottles and the way the cap is that goes up to that sharp point. They look like their own spin-off on Amouage with a different cap, like their presentations and everything. So that's the Middle Eastern brand I've kind of got my eye on right now. They absolutely can. It's a little more mature than I would think most teens would like, but it's one of those things where you just got to try it for yourself and see if it's something you like. It just wear what you like. It doesn't. Guidelines are just recommendations when it comes to the, what's age appropriate. But at the end of the day, I mean, when I was a kid, I used to wear polo, original polo green, when I was like 13. And today people call that an old man smell. Okay. So look at it that way. It depends on what you like. Yes, the age appropriateness, there's some that suit tastes for different generations better, but wear what you like. If you smell that and you love it, doesn't matter if you're 13 or 50, rock it. Hope that helps. Ross the man, I always watch the videos before I go and willy-nilly and buy myself a bottle of any fragrance I lay my eyes on. I appreciate you, Dylan. Thank you, man. Ombre Leather, the Parfum. When you say EDP, I'm assuming you mean the Parfum, the newest flanker, which is technically still an EDP. That's a good one. Violet Leaf Iris still has that sweet leather smell. It's good stuff. I plan on getting that and Ombre Leather before the year's out. I'm going to get 50 mLs of both because the 50 ml is going to be plenty. I'm very situational with fragrances like that. My decants are pretty much empty before the year's out for sure. Carter says, me too, polo in middle school. I used to wear that at school dances. They used to have the dances like every other Friday or something like that in the gym. This was like, when I was wearing that, it was the Evergreen middle school days. I was like 7th grade. And then home and junior high dances in 8th and 9th grade. So like middle school in general, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. That's what I was rocking to dances, school dances, was polo green. And I was wearing a Nautica competition during those times. Was like if I remember correctly, I think that was one of the 2 daytime fragrances I had at Tommy. Nautica competition, the old bottle, the gray bottle. I used to wear Nautica competition clothing when that was actually a line of clothing, not just the fragrance. Oh yeah, fond memories. Alhambra Amber and Leather is a decent clone of Ombre Leather, $15. Yeah, I know that there's a ton of Ombre Leather and Tuscan Leather clones out there, but I just want Ombre Leather. I don't want a clone. I don't want to sacrifice any quality because I really like how Ombre Leather smells. So I'm just going to wait until the time is right to where because there's like $1,000 I want to spend on a few fragrances, and time comes, there's more than that I want to spend. I'm just going to do one large haul and knock it all out in one shot instead of doing a bunch of little hauls of 3 and 4 fragrances. It's just going to be like a while back I did a big one that was 10 plus fragrances. We'll do that again. Cool water flankers are ones I do have my eyes on, especially the Intense and the Parfum. It's good ones. Slowly diving into the niche brands. Which brands have you been looking at? Very curious. Used to wear OG Polo Sport when I was in high school. That was super popular back in my day too. It is not very sweet. It is a little on the creamy side. Sweetness isn't real heavy. The sweetness kind of comes from the myrrh. There's no vanilla and things like that. It's It's smoky, it's resinous, it's powdery and floral. Definitely take a look at some of the videos. I talked about it in some weekly rotations as well as the actual launch video. It's not really all that sweet. There's a little bit of sweetness to it, and it's creamy because of this balmy and balsamic feel. Like it's more aromatic and smoky than it is creamy. And the iris and carrot seed. The carrot seed kind of complements the iris. So a lot of people ask me, what does that smell like? It kind of gives off a little bit of that waxy quality that the iris provides. Like they kind of work hand in hand, because natural Florentine iris kind of smells like boiled carrots in some ways. It's kind of notorious for that. So the carrot seed kind of gives this waxy feel. And niche fragrances, a lot of the times, like think fragrances like Amouage Meander, where they have orris, they also have carrot seed in there, and it's got a little bit of a waxy iris feel. It's the carrot seed doing that. Well, complementing the iris to make it more of a waxy, almost lipsticky type of iris. Not quite. Don't think Dior Homme when you think of the iris for Evening Mystique. Think more higher quality Givenchy Gentleman EDP type of iris. But yeah, because it's hard to really compare it, because I'm talking about a designer fragrance versus some niche oils. So, but that's kind of the realm of the type of iris you can think, because it's a little creamy, but it's more powdery, and there's some resins in there. It's not as creamy because there's no like Tolu balsam like Givenchy Gentleman has, but you have olibanum resin and incense. So that's two different forms of frankincense. So it's quite smoky. And then the myrrh provides this aromatic, like Andrea said in the video where I sprung it on them, almost a light vanillic type of sweetness. That's kind of the only thing providing any sweetness. So sorry I stayed stuck on that. I just wanted to make sure I really articulated what to expect from the fragrance. And then as it dries, there's a creamy and clean patchouli that Claude used. It's not a very dark and earthy type of patchouli. It's clean. You'll see as you get into the deep dry down, which to get into the deep dry down takes a long time. Long time. It's 25% parfum of some top tier oils. So it's performs great. It lasts a really, really long time. You don't have to worry about performance at all. Heavy. It's a heavy scent profile with a heavier oil concentration. Ooh, Tommy and Claiborne Sport were my go-tos. Those were very popular back in my day too. Meander is absolutely beautiful. Yes, it is. I haven't wore that in some time. Got to go. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you stopping in, my man. Thank you so much. Papa Smurf, what's going on, my man? Juju's in the house. Queen Cannoli. Everybody say hi to Juju. So we got 75 watching. I appreciate you guys. That's a great crowd for one of these random midday live streams. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope that helps. I mean, nobody can describe it the way I can, because nobody outside of me has really spent time with it. I mean, Andrea and Justin, in the video, they got that one spray on their hand. Then the next day when we filmed the launch video where it's the three of us answering questions, that day we had sprayed each other's fragrances on our hands as well. That was the following day. So those 2 days are the only experience they have with mine. And it was just one day that I have experience with theirs. It was one spray on each hand. So I can't really go in depth on theirs. I remember certain facets of it. Like I talked about the suede note in Justin's, the way it comes out on my skin. But yeah, I try to articulate Evening Mystique as best I can, because the only information out there right now is pretty much me, because nobody has a bottle right now. God, I love this fragrance. I can't wait for everybody to get it. I'm so proud of this fragrance. So proud. You ever tried Oud and Bergamot from Joe Malone? I have not. I get no performance. That's unfortunate. No, I've never tried it. It's midnight in Europe. Deontay was going, what? Deontay Wilder. I doubt that's the Deontay Wilder. I mean, it's possible. Pop Fritz, like that, wear what you want. I think there are too many suggestive guidelines out there on gender, age, season, etc. It's all opinionated. Certain things suit certain seasons and situations and ages and genders and all that better than others. But that's the clear-cut guideline. I mean, if you want to wear some heavy oud fragrance in the middle of summer and you're 16 years old, if you like it, who cares? If it's appropriate enough, like it won't cause you trouble to wear it in your setting, because that's a possibility. But if it's no big deal for you to wear whatever the hell you want, no matter when, go ahead. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, me or anyone else. You know, it's just my opinion and my recommendation of what I see these things best suited for. Because there's a lot of fragrances that I deem very dressy and such that I'll wear with a t-shirt and flat bill just like this. because it all comes down to confidence. Are you confident with what you're wearing? Are you wearing that fragrance, or is that fragrance wearing you? Depending on how you answer that question, that'll tell you if maybe it's too dressy for what you're doing. Because if you're not confident in the way you're conducting yourself and the way your fragrance is smelling coming off of your skin for the way you're dressed, your personality, your setting, or whatever, it's all a trial and error type of thing. It's lessons you have to learn on your own from just getting out there and trying different things. But I appreciate that, Pop. Lanote versus, well, I've never smelled Lanote, so Sageman Privé. Frag Dude, what's going on, my man? Gerard, what's going on? Scent of the day, Zaharoff Parfum Nighttime. Underrated gem from the line. I've seen that at TJ Maxx and Marshalls so many times over the years. It's unreal. I've passed it up at least 50 or 60 times, at least. I've had it in my cart, actual buggy. Couldn't tell you how many times I ended up putting it back. It was always $20. Let's see. What I see, it's a clone of Oud Miyake. Oud Miyake? I've never even heard of that. I'm assuming Issey Miyake. Honest Fragrance Reviews in the house. What's going on, big dog? How are you? Appreciate you stopping in. Frag Dude is wearing Grabazi by Gendarme. Is that how you say that? Gendarme? It's a hidden gem. Yeah, I've never even heard of it. This is the first time I've seen those words. Never heard of that fragrance, let alone have I ever tried it. Gerard, you got a little bit of time? You want to jump on, my man? Because we're only 27 minutes in. I typically do around an hour for these midday live streams. So I got a little time. If you want to jump on and chop it up, let me know, and I'll shoot you the link on IG. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and shoot it to you just in case. Because I get behind on the chat. I may not see your response. There we go. Whoop. That was an accident. There we go. Mr. Boston Accents. Oh, why is my computer running slow today? There we go. Sent you the link on IG if you want to jump on, my man. Never had you on screen. Figured we'll chop it up a little bit. He tagged me in a video recently, and I did the tag, and we've actually never had a conversation before. So love to have you on. So for those of you that are just now jumping on, a lot of you are putting your scent of the day, but for some of you that haven't dropped it yet in the chat, I'd love to know what you're wearing. At the end of the day, we're a fragrance channel. This is a fragrance channel, and we want to talk about some fragrances. For those of you that haven't seen yet, I'm wearing Kajal Perfumes Ferris. Oh, got it backwards. There we go. Come on. There it is. Beautiful, fresh cut lavender in a field. Possibly the best lavender note I own. Spicy greens, very fresh. Aromatic and soapy, but the highest of quality of soapy lavender. So good. Some fresh sprays. I have spray on top of each forearm and 3 sprays around the neck. Zaharoff Signature Rosé. You can't go wrong there. Versace Mano Fresh by the fireplace. That's what I'm talking about. Mike said all the coolest people have Boston accents. MA in the house. Massachusetts in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Kevin, glad to see you join us in there. Adonis Awakens. Whew, man. That's one of the best releases of the year. I've been having it since I got it. It's been sitting on my rotation table. I've been meaning to wear it. It was in this week, and then I pulled it out for something else. I don't even remember what I pulled it out. Oh, I was supposed to wear it today. I ended up going with this. I don't know. You thoughts change on what you want to wear from day to day. You can try to plan it out, but it's always going to change. But yeah, it's an amazing fragrance. Anybody that hasn't tried that, it's one of the more unique rose fragrances out there. Nothing feminine about it. Scent of the day, Killian's Intoxicated. Excellent choice, Montrese. Excellent choice. Molinard Figue. Now we're talking. That is one of my favorites. Yes, I agree. Figue is great. Such a cheap niche. That's kind of a unique fig because it's so watery and tart and fruity, and it's such a good fragrance. Such a good fragrance. Encre Noir, I like Strem. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. I got my decant in this pile somewhere. Duan, what's going on, my man? Rocking Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. I wore that a few weeks back. Speaking of Prada, one I haven't worn in some time. It's been a while. It's Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. Big fan of that one. No secret there. I just haven't worn it in a while. PDM Carlisle. Man, there was a time when that was like my favorite cold weather fragrance. I did wear it this past winter, but I only think I wore it like once, maybe twice. I did not wear it a lot. It's definitely a banger. A lot of people I've noticed online compare it to Red Tobacco. I think there's more differences than there are similarities. That's a much more clean and sweet fragrance because I always associate Red Tobacco with that dark, pungent, smoky oud smell. That's very pungent opening, very strong. It's too powerful for some people, to be honest with you. So when people like to compare things to Red Tobacco, I look at it as if it doesn't have that, it's not exactly Red Tobacco. Red Tobacco's something else. All our fragrances are so underrated. Such a great house with releases at affordable prices, much like Lalique. That is a very good point. I've wanted to try their lavender fragrance. Speaking of lavender, I love a good lavender note, and Fig is done so well. And lavender, I forgot. It's not the full word lavender. I forgot exactly what it is. That particular one, I would love to get my hands on. I would buy it blind, no problem. I've seen it online in the $50 some odd dollar range. I'd love to try that one. I think that'd be a great fragrance. Bring the fellow masshole on. LOL, Pat's Nation. Let's see, I just placed my pre-order for Evening Mystique and Second Soul. I appreciate your random ass fragrances. Thank you, my man. You're not going to be disappointed. Wearing amber tomorrow, going to a wedding. Danger Parfum. Oh, God. I still don't have a bottle. I'm going to get a bottle eventually. That's my favorite fragrance from Jaguar Parfums. My favorite fougere. My favorite aromatic fougere I've ever smelled. Agreed. I prefer Carlisle. I find it way more well-rounded. Yes, I agree. It's more well-rounded and interesting. There's more situations where it's much more appropriate because, like I said, Red Tobacco is such a beast in every sense of the word relating to a fragrance that it's a bit more situational than Carlisle. Like I've worn, when I worked at Mercedes, I used to wear Carlisle to work all the time in the winter. Houston, Texas winter, where it's not even really super cold, you know? Whereas with Red Tobacco, I wouldn't dare spray that fragrance in the office. It's just too much. It's too pungent. It overwhelms people. It smells amazing. It's a compliment machine. It's crazy good. But I agree. This is much more well-rounded. Similarities, sure. Differences, yeah. There's more differences than similarities. Jet Black Reserve by Michael Malone. You might want to check out Walmart. They've been getting PlayStation 5. I got another one 2 days ago. So you bought a second PS5? That's kind of funny. Looking forward to wearing some Zaharoff samples I picked up recently. I'm not sure when I'll actually break it open, but looking forward to it. Do you want to start at the top or do you want to work your way to it? Because the top, in my opinion, is rosé, as a lot of people will agree. Mr. Guy Plenty said gang, gang. That's what I'm talking about. Best Montal, for me, Honey Oud. That's my favorite. Hands down. That's no hesitation as soon as I read it. Honey Oud. Obviously honey and oud, but cinnamon, vanilla, dry and powdery amber. Magnificent fragrance. Be careful, though. Your girl's going to want to steal your fragrance. It's very unisex. It's got gourmand facets to it. One of the better gourmand-style ouds. It is so good. So good. That's the one. Like I said, no hesitation for me on that question. Scent of the day is Dirty English. Burberry Brit Rhythm for Him Intense might be your style. I've never tried that. Just the original Burberry Brit Rhythm. I've only tried the original. One spray fired instantly. There you go. Talking about Red Tobacco, I'm assuming. One more Intense. Pretty cold in Europe. It's a great choice when it's cold outside for sure. Blue Amber is awesome. Same with Honey Oud. I've never tried Blue Amber. But Honey Oud, and look, I have like 13 Montals. The last one I bought was Fougere's Marines, which is basically niche Tommy. Not one-to-one, but pretty close. I haven't bought any darker ones recently, but Spicy Oud, for example, super underrated spicy patchouli fragrance. It's more about patchouli than it is oud. Last time I wore that one, I did a review last winter. I want to say we had just I wore it to an Avalanche game. And it wasn't too overwhelming. Nobody said anything positive, but nobody said anything negative either. Outside of my wife, she did like it. But that's one that's underrated. Speaking of Montal. All right, Sammy, check out Roger Parfum de la Nuit 3, the sexiest fragrance of all time. I've heard good things about it. I haven't tried it. I'm waiting on it to get cold enough for me to wear Amber Oud. Love Roger Parfum's Amber Oud. Got a big bottle too, big 100 ml. Ready to wear it. I think Rosé and Tabac are neck and neck. Rosé may be a hair better, but only by a hair. Well, it's got more of a wow factor to it, like a holy shit kind of moment when you smell it, because you're not anticipating it to be that good. Tabac is, I guess you could say, more versatile and more wearable overall. Rosé maybe is a little bit more situational, but it's got more of that holy shit vibe to it, like wow when you smell it. Rosé was my first. When you started at the top. Dark Cherry and Amber. I wore that a few nights ago. It's going to be in the next weekly rotation video. Yeah, that's the best one, honey. My sister gave me an ounce, and I had no choice. She threatened my life, and she's my little sister. I remember you telling me that. She stole your bottle. Oud Vanille is great. It's a fantastic fragrance. That's the downside to having so many fragrances. You'll have a bunch of great stuff that just kind of sits there because there's only so much time and so many situations during the day to spray a new fragrance, you know. God of Fire, Stéphane Humbert Lucas is awesome. I've never heard of that. Montal Patchouli Vetiver is the best Montal Patchouli fragrance. Never tried that one. It's growing so much, can't stop myself. Jack Black Blue Mark EDP. Everyman Jack Aged Bourbon. Haven't tried that one. Sandalwood from Everyman Jack's pretty good. I used to wear that one sporadically out the shower. That's good. That's good stuff. Good creamy sandalwood and vanilla fragrance. Lamal in the Navy. Underrated. Basically aquatic Eros. Great thing about rosé, it smells slightly different on everyone. And the smell it coming off another is incredible. I love when my wife wears it. I like to walk in her trail. My wife has her own bottle. Love it on my wife. Love it on me too. Love it on Justin. Love it on George. I've smelled it on my fair share of different skin chemistries. It smells amazing. It's more of a sweet oud smell on Justin. It's a sweet floral smell on Heidi. And on George, it's kind of like how it is with me, a lot of incense and rose. And it's a little bit more ambery on him, but the incense is really heavy off of my skin. Might get Montal Honey Oud just to see how it compares to Florist Honey Oud, one of Mrs. Fritz's favorites on me. Designer or niche? Both. I won't choose between one or the other because I wear a little bit of everything. For $38, is that a good deal? That's a good price. If you're looking to smell like a dessert, that's one of the best coffee dessert fragrances ever. I mean, it's got a ton of hype behind it for a good reason. Who doesn't love rosé? I'm assuming you meant rosé. Good deal. So I guess Mr. Gerard George isn't going to be able to jump on because I haven't heard anything. Let me jump on IG, check my messages real quick. Nope. Maybe he had to go. It is what it is. No hard feelings. So I'm probably going to shut it down here in just a little bit. I just wanted to jump on and chat with you guys for a little bit. Talk about these 5 because it's what I've been wearing the most. And speaking of the 5th one we haven't talked about yet, I've been going back to Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct Together. Instead of wearing it out the shower, I've been rocking this one to the gym recently. It's kind of been what I've been reaching for the most. I go through random spurts throughout the year, every year with this fragrance. I have multiple bottles. It's still one of my favorite cheap fragrances. So good. It's great casually. It's great in the summer. It's great lounging around out the shower, and it's great for the gym. I don't spray more than 3 sprays for the gym, though, because it's pretty loud. Even though it doesn't last a really long time, it's like 4 hours and it's gone. I know some people get worse than that, but it's very bright and airy, especially in the first hour. It's really loud in the first hour. So I had 3 sprays, and it takes me 20 minutes to get to the gym anyway, so it kind of calms down before I get there. But this is the 5th recent favorite that I have been rocking a lot lately. You know, no stranger to the channel. This is not something you guys haven't seen me talk about before. It's been in countless weekly rotation videos, full review. It's been in a bunch of different lists. I mean, this is a channel favorite for a reason. I love this stuff. This is one of my favorite cheap synthetic aquatics I've ever bought. I have multiple bottles. I got a lifetime supply for sure. For what I've been wearing it recently, I can't spray liberally. Got to be much more modest with the sprays and be mindful of others because I don't like something strong at the gym. I don't want to smell something strong on someone else at the gym. That's just not courteous in my mind. That's not the place for a loud fragrance, you know. But this is the 5th one. of my recent favorites that I've been rocking, Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct Together. Like I said, definitely a channel favorite. I have never tried this fragrance, Sammy, so I actually can't weigh in, unfortunately. Sorry. Those niche fragrances make a good aftershave, too. Which ones? Which ones are you talking about? Top 3 houses. That's tough because there's so many good ones. So how about I give you 3 designer, or 1 designer, 1 cheap, 1 niche. How about that? Let's do that. That'll be fine. Which is going to be super hard with niche. It's going to be super hard. With designer, it's going to be a toss-up, but I got to just pick one because I love a lot of stuff from Dolce & Gabbana and YSL. Love Prada. I love Dior. But I think I got to lean to YSL, Yves Saint Laurent, for the designer pick. It's my wife's favorite brand. Absolute favorite. She loves the women's. She loves all the different men's fragrances that I have. And I can't say I feel any different. I love rocking all of my different flankers and originals and the different lines, Y line, La Nuit de l'Homme, L'Homme. I enjoy them. I really do. So I got to go with YSL. Gerard's backstage. We'll bring him on in just a sec. Let me answer this real quick. Then with cheap, I got to go Banana Republic. They put out so much good stuff in there, right around $20 from the rack stores. They're always out there. They're always solid fragrances. And then with niche, lately, I don't think this is overall, but lately, I've really been vibing with Niche Chanel. Really been feeling their fragrances lately. I've been wearing Ani a bit more recently. I mean, hell, it's right here. I'm about to feature it in a video coming up in the next couple of days. I wore it like last week. It's just mainly because of that fragrance. I've really been vibing with Niche Chanel, so I think we'll go there. Mr. Gerard George, how are you, sir?
What's going on, Ross?
Not too much, man. I can't complain. I appreciate you jumping on for a little bit.
Absolutely. Nice I appreciate the invite, man.
I've talked to you before. I've never talked to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I appreciate you doing that tag video. It went a long way for me. I really appreciate that.
No worries, man. Because with your title, for those of you that don't know, I messaged him back like, man, I've never given a 10 out of 10. I can't do that tag.
Yeah, no, I know. And you said that. You said, yeah, I've never given a 10 out of 10. This might be tough to do, but yeah no, what I got from it, because I was tagged in it as well. So I just took from it, your favorite EDP basically concentrations in your class. And we know that can change day to day. It's not
like the 5 I picked, I really enjoy, but I could have did 500 of them almost. There's so many.
Exactly. So
what are you rocking today, my man?
I'm sure so I got
chat. I just don't remember.
So Zaharoff Parfum Nighttime.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And you had said you saw this a bunch of times at all the rack stores and stuff. I think I got this, Russ. I think I got this for $10 at a Marshall's.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it's great. I mean, I'm a fan of this line in general.
Me too.
I think, for cheaper fragrances, I think they do it really. It's a little synthetic, but really well done.
Overall, like the sensual, whatever the hell they were called, collection with Ginger Lover and all those.
Yes.
All of them were great. All 5 are great.
Yeah.
Parfum Intense, my favorite in the line. I mean,
that's the only one I haven't smelled. I got to get my nose on Parfum Intense.
You need that one. In my opinion, it's the best one.
Yeah.
The best Zaharoff Parfum flanker. That's the one they own. Performance, it's not as synthetic. It's basically take the old one, make it a boozy, spicier, modern version of the original, and amp up the performance for like $37.
Would you say it's comparable at all to the Cartier EDP? The what is it?
Which one? Which line?
Trying to think. The Pasha de Cartier, the EDP.
So Pasha de Cartier Parfum.
Yes. Any similarities between the two? Okay.
Other than the booziness, but the booziness isn't the same because you're talking a sweet booze of brandy versus like a cognac, not quite a cognac, but it's more of a rum, even though I do think it is like a whiskey note or something like that.
That's why some of the notes are similar.
It's not quite that sweet of a booze because I wore Pasha at the beginning of this week. It's more woody and herbal than anything else. Honestly, it's like a smoother blend, a smoother and better version of kind of like Bentley for Men, for example.
Okay.
It's not quite as spicy. It doesn't have all that rough edge. It's more of a refined take on kind of that style, more so than the Azzaro Pour Homme DNA.
I gotcha. Yeah, and that's definitely one I've wanted to try, mainly based on you talking about it.
Well, I will say they do the same job, and Pasha is better. It's a higher quality fragrance for sure.
Yeah,
but
I like
performance
Pasha.
is kind of what and what. I don't think it's too redundant to have both, but they do the same job.
I'm actually a really big fan of the Pasha, the EDT, the Pasha de Cartier. That one's really nice.
It's been so long since I've smelled that. I've debated on getting it too. It's been a while. There's a lot of Cartier fragrances that I haven't tried that I'd like to. I know Justin's a big fan of the Declaration line. I haven't tried nothing from that line.
I'm not crazy about Declaration. There's something about it that is almost like when you first smell it, it's like it reminds me of like fried chicken spices.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a little strange when you first. It's almost like too edible, the spiciness I get from it. So
I've never heard somebody put it that way. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. That would possibly be a turnoff for me as well. I'd have to smell it.
Yeah,
because the Parfum, I've debated on starting with the Parfum because Justin raves about that one. He's one of the opinions.
It's really good. It's really good.
Talk to me a little bit about it because I've never tried it. I'd love to get another opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I had tried it too was actually on Strip, and I just remember spraying it. I had tried a bunch of stuff that day. I sprayed it on Strip. I walked out of the store. I think I was at like a Bloomingdale's or something, and I hadn't tested it yet. I tried it, and I said, "Whoa, this thing's incredible. Let me go try this on skin." I should have tried it on skin right away. I always try to try it on skin while I'm still in the store and walk around and see how it sort of evolves. But I get a lot of patchouli from it. The booziness, and typically if it's too much patchouli, it's a turn off for me, but I love it in the Cartier. And then the booziness is just so perfect. It's not too sweet. It's just perfectly well done. Great fall winter scent.
I'm like that with booziness too. I don't like a sweet boozy tone unless there's complementary notes to make it make sense for me. Like if the only sweetness I'm really getting is like say a heavy cognac note.
Right.
It might not be something I want to reach for all the time. It's got to have some complementary notes to make it make sense for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I like a good old rum note. Give me rum. That's my favorite boozy note. Give me rum.
Yeah. And it just evokes fall. Like growing up in New England where I live, just outside of the city. Mm-hmm. This is where I like my fresh scents too, but I love rocking the fall weather scents, the cooler weather scents.
Same.
Yeah.
It's been surprisingly warmer than usual for this time of year here.
Same here.
So I guess it's across the globe right now because typically it'd be highs in the 50s every day, lows in the high 20s.
Yep.
For me right now, like last year, that's how it was. Like it would have snowed at least once by now for me because I'm out in the mountains,
Yeah. You're in Colorado, right?
I'm in Colorado Springs.
Okay. Yeah. So today, for example, it was 65, and it's funny. I don't notice it until I'm sitting down on like a Saturday to do my weekly rotation video, and I'm like, I reached for all freshies this week. What's going on? And it's because it's usually weather related as to why I'm grabbing what I'm grabbing.
I've been making myself reach for darker stuff, but I'm looking at this past week's rotation, and outside of literally nothing was actually that dark. I mean, like just to give you an idea, rattle off Pasha Parfum, Mossy Into Me, which is a fresh, watermelon ginger fragrance. Oud Blue Notes is probably from Mancera, is probably the most dense fragrance I wore this week. Now this is just the daytime wears. Polo Red EDP, not that heavy of a fragrance. Yesterday was Sauvage Parfum, really not that heavy of a fragrance. Today's Kajal Ferris, this is a spicy aromatic. Not that heavy of a fragrance, more fresh than anything. And then tomorrow I'm planning on wearing that Blue Atlas fragrance again, which is a freshie.
That sounds like a good one.
I love that one.
Yeah, I saw someone else talk about it too. He's actually been on your channel before. I can't think of his name though. I feel bad not remembering what it is. Was it Joe?
I think Joe got it.
What's his channel's name?
On Average Joe.
No, it wasn't On Average.
Randy, fragrance dude.
Randy, yes, Randy.
Yeah, he got it recently too. He was
he really liked it. Yeah, he really liked it.
It's kind of unique because like it's clearly a ripoff of Bleu de Chanel's bottle with a magnetic cap. Clearly, but the atomizer. I know this doesn't really matter, but it's like Sean John 3 a.m. level.
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous. But the scent profile, I said in the video, the peach apricot combo really stands out to me, and clean musk. It's literally that simple because you'll see iris, you'll see violet, It's not really all that floral. It's a little powdery, but it's unique. It's almost a little feminine because of the peach and apricot.
Well, I was just gonna say, Ross, that combination for me with the peach and really any white floral just tends to lean super feminine to me. Not super feminine, but sort of walks that line where it's like, can I pull this off, or is it something I would normally wear? It happens to me with Sicily from Mancera. I love that fragrance. I think it's really well done. It's just not I like it on other people versus myself because of that peach and those white florals.
So a peach note that's extremely feminine on me is Mancera Black Vanilla.
Okay, I haven't smelled that one.
It's a white peach note.
Yeah.
With some black currant, a lot of jasmine, and this is super creamy vanilla, like fluffy creamy vanilla.
Yeah.
The first 30 minutes, not going to beat around the bush. I smell like a chick. But after that, it gets amazing. But that first 30 minutes, you literally smell like you're wearing a straight up younger lady's perfume.
Yeah.
Because the peach is just so much with the jasmine. Like you said, peach, white, floral. Yeah. But once that black currant and the vanilla start to settle in more, it's much more wearable for like a man that likes florals, still a feminine fragrance. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Guys that don't like florals would never want to wear this.
Yeah. I like florals personally, but
yeah, same here. I love florals. That's why I have no problem wearing stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to lean towards rose based fragrances. I do like those. I actually just picked one up. This one right here. It's Jason Wu Velvet Rouge. So this is actually a really interesting scent. It gets compared to Toy Boy.
Really?
It gets compared to Toy Boy. I haven't smelled it yet, but it's intriguing me. The notes on that intrigue me. And this was a TJ Maxx. Spoiler alert, this will be in my next rack store haul.
There you go.
$20 at TJ Maxx. So
I saw your niche pickups recently at
oh man.
Yeah.
I got lucky. Yeah, that particular, I know that particular store. They usually have a couple gems. There was a Nishane in there that had, I think it was Africa Oliphant, which I've heard people on Fragrantica. Yeah, on Fragrantica, someone said it smells like a cab driver. I don't know if that's a good thing.
This goes back to what I said earlier, guys. Take what you read on the internet. 50% of it's truth.
Yes.
Fragrantica is basically a subreddit at this point.
Seriously. I take what every Fragrantica review with a grain of salt, and
you got to do that across the internet with us. With video,
100%.
Everything,
100%.
Because just like say me and you shit on some fragrance, there's a guy that's gonna try it and be like, man, they're crazy. This is amazing.
I know you can't win. I just did it with what was it? My video today. I did Ganymede. Now, it's kind of polarizing. I'm not crazy about it. There's something that is intriguing about it.
It's weird,
I'm like,
right?
Yes, I'm like, when would I wear this? What situation would I have this on? It's tough
There's
to sort of
army of people that swear by it. It's like a cult.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, Justin's one of them. And look, I like it too. I'd like to get a bottle. I sprayed it one time on my hand when I was with him.
You like it? Yeah,
I do like because it's so strange.
Yeah,
I like these strange fragrances.
It is strange. It's one of those fragrances that
it's a weird blend that you're just not anticipating when you smell it.
I would encourage anyone to try it. At least get your nose on it because it is that unique. It's so different that when I first smelled it, I was like, this isn't a fragrance that I imagine wearing. But it smells like something you want to keep smelling.
It's definitely a conversation starter. I can see that being the case when you go 100%. Out in the evenings or something, because nobody's smelled that before.
No,
unless they're a big frag head and they've smelled Ganymede, they haven't smelled that before.
Exactly.
So, anything exciting going on the rest of the week?
Rest of the week, no, not too much. Just probably spending some time with the kiddos this weekend, and I'm actually, my full-time gig is I'm a realtor, so my wife and I, we're both real estate agents. We work together really closely. So whenever we can have a little bit of time with the kids and we try to alternate schedules and then I got this thing and trying to commit to at least 2 videos a week for the channel. How time consuming that can be. So, and I think you do a video every day, don't you? So
at least
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's,
So here's a funny one. Angel's a friend of mine, so I doubt he's going to fight me over an opinion on a fragrance. But thank you, Suspect 333. So, any particular unique content coming out? I know you said you have the Rack Store video that's coming. I know you have a weekly rotation that you do.
Yeah, so it's funny. Yeah, no, I think this weekend I'll film the weekly rotation. I'm going to do the Rack Store vid, and then I'm thinking about adding another video a week, probably on Wednesday. So right now I'm dropping videos every Monday and Friday. Probably do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, and just maybe get more into like the single fragrance discussion, you know, as opposed to doing a list or Rack Store haul or whatever. So talking more about the fragrances I love.
I mix in a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you do a good job of that. That's
so
something
that's one of those things where temper your expectations unless it's a really like a Middle Eastern fragrance. Those are hot right now, or a very popular new release or something. But when it comes to individual reviews, temper your expectations. It's not going to do what a Rack Store video does.
Oh, I know. I know. And what I am going to do, Ross, is I asked my subs last week what Middle Eastern fragrances I should try.
How many said Kamra?
Practically every other person. Yeah. Latafa in general. Yeah.
Latafa in general is the hot ticket right now.
Yeah.
I've smelled it. I just haven't bought a bottle.
Yeah.
It's basically like a slightly more coconutty take on Angel Share. It's kind of coconut in my skin.
Yeah. So that's what I plan on doing. That I plan on doing, like filming the haul, actually going in and buying the stuff online, and then giving my first impressions, because that's the other sort of corner, I guess, of the fragrance world is the Middle Eastern fragrances. A lot of people are passionate about those. So
a lot of people have been asking me about them earlier in the chat. Are you going to do any more Middle East? Because yesterday I did a Middle Eastern video, and it's, you know, mostly Afnan is what I've kind of been into. Armaf, hit and miss, because they're so, I mean, the quality comparison is not the same. Afnan uses some pretty good quality oils, but it's the Killer Oud brand that's kind of sparked my interest. And obviously Latafa, people have been on my ass about getting some. So I got to do a Latafa haul before the year's out for sure. And Kamra is going to have to be one of them. Otherwise, you know, people might start unsubscribing because they want to hear it.
That will probably be one of the ones I grab, because it literally came up in every other comment.
That's why I said it, because I get it all the time.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, my man, I appreciate you stopping in. We're just about at the hour mark. That's typically where I like to keep it at for these midday random live streams during the week that I do. I appreciate you coming on, man. Seriously.
Ross, definitely. And I appreciate the support. You've supported me since I started the channel. I truly appreciate it, all of it. So
of course. And guys, I will, as soon as we go off the live, I'm gonna tag Gerard down in the top of the description. So if you want to check out his content, give him a sub, just click his name and it'll bring you right to his channel. If you're fans of my style content, he does a lot of similar content. He's got similar formats, really, with weekly rotations, Rack Store videos. So if you like stuff from me, I can't imagine why you wouldn't like stuff from Gerard.
I appreciate that, Ross. You're an inspiration to me, so that would make sense.
Man, I'm just another guy that loves talking about fragrances on the internet like you, man.
Same, man.
So thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that was here in the chat. I appreciate all of you taking some time out of your Friday to hang out with me. Like I said, I'm going to tag Gerard's channel down below. Make sure you go check out his content. If you like what you see, turn that red button gray and click that bell to where it's got a little slash going through it.
Thanks, Ross. Thanks, chat.
Y'all have a good one, guys.